The recent days have seen rising lawlessness near the border. Doubtless the consequence of the instability in Glenbrook.
Indeed.
Lord Svarog, forgive me. I forget myself, my lord.
It's too late for that. Out with it.
My lord, the bulk of our forces are occupied abroad, leaving only scant numbers at home. The longer this campaign continues, the more fraught the situation within our borders becomes.
Your concern is duly noted, Sicris. Rest assured that the Archduke is not ignorant to such issues. And besides, strength of arms is not the only means by which order is maintained. The time has come to gird our nation with fire and steel.
Fire and steel, my lord?
Yes, we shall fulfill our duty at last.
Cordelia, what's wrong?
Brother, they...
Calm yourself. Take a deep breath. Now, tell me what happened.
I heard them talking. I wasn't supposed to, but I heard them. Thalos and... Oh, Roland. The Archduke, he means to order your execution!
Grave news, my lord. Prince Roland is to be beheaded at the Archduke's decree.
What? On what grounds?
For inciting unrest by ordering the invasion of the Falk's domain.
The gall of that man!
Furthermore, House Wolfert has been invited to attend the execution. Our presence is mandatory.
Ah, of course it is. That sneak.
Do you mean to go?
We dare not disobey the summons. The consequences would almost certainly be dire.
Are we just dogs to answer his beck and call?
My lady. Please, I understand. But we have no choice.
I know this, and I apologize. It's just that... there are things we must protect. Things I must protect. Lest we lose what makes us human.
News of Prince Roland's coming execution is carried far and wide. In the blink of an eye, the kingdom of Glenbrook is no more. The realm reels from the tragic turn of events. Prince Roland's death marks an uncertain change in the flow of history. A change which none in the Old Kingdom have the power to reverse. However, the eruption of conflict in the region does not go unnoticed by its neighbors. In the holy state of Hyzante, opportunistic hearts stir.
My dearest friend has been sentenced to die, and there is naught I can do. What use is a lord's position if he can't even save those closest to him?
Serenoa, you mustn't.
Is it true? Another ravenous dog is stirring?
It is. We face none other than Minister Sorsley End, one of the Saintly Seven. It seems he means to take our domain for his own.
House End. Their position in Hyzante has been in decline for some time.
Doubtless, Sorsley means to use the Walford domain to bolster his flagging influence.
My lord, our soldiers have had scarce little time to rest since our last battle. I fear for their morale if they were forced to take the field against Hyzante.
Is there naught we can do?
We have sent request for aid to House End more than once, my lord. However, our pleas have always fallen on deaf ears. Doubtless Sorsley has been biding his time to strike.
Then it is too late for words. There must be something we can do to avoid straining our already ragged forces.
There is, my lord. However...
I dread the words that follow however when they come from you.
Let us ask the Archduke for assistance.
Are you mad, Benedict?
We must needs focus on the matter in front of us. If we weather this storm, we may see that it has unearthed unseen opportunities. However, if we let Sorsley's advance continue unabated, I'm afraid retreat may be our only option.
You are right, as usual. Very well. Ready a bird. That tome is an apprentice's resource, if I'm not mistaken. Are you studying ironworking?
Yes, I borrowed it some time ago from the archives in the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. I haven't had a chance to return it, what with the state of affairs being as it is.
Ian's? I can't remember the last time you privileged us with a visit.
Well, my weapons aren't going to forge themselves. But now that I've a respite from my days of sweat and flame, I thought I'd continue my studies.
You hunger for knowledge the way a fire hungers for kindling.
I'd never have become the blacksmith I am if not for what I gleaned from these tomes. If it takes a lifetime of studying and striving to forge the perfect weapon, then so be it. One day, all will know the name of Ian's, the greatest smithy the realm has ever seen.
That is all well and good, but would you mind proclaiming that a little more quietly?
Yes, apologies. In my excitement, I quite forgot I was in a library.
I must say, I can't help but admire your burning ambition. But while we're speaking in hushed tones, our army has been anything but quiet as of late. You forge weapons for them, yes? Might you have any insight into the matter?
I wish I did, but I have scant time for the goings-on outside my own small forge. Though, now that you mention it, my orders from the army have increased.
Could it be that they're preparing for war? As if a war could break out on the eve of our three nations' grand new venture.
Indeed. That would be unthinkable. Aesfrost's sudden attack on Glenbrook confirmed my worst fears. And once the war started, I could forget about returning this book. But I still hope to. One day, when peace has returned to our realm.
I hope you will fight by my side till it does.
Without hesitation, my lord.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Windy days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Salt Iron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Aesfrost attacked. A number of Rosellan prisoners who tried to escape the source were there too, including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Roselle flee. That's how she was captured. But I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Roselle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Roselle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other Saintly Seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
Thank you for joining me in my training, Sir Flanagan. I've learned much from you. In truth, I'm grateful for any training at all. There are few of us Hawk Riders in Glenbrook.
Then let me thank you in turn for a chance to shake the rust from my bones. Seems my mount was keen to face such a worthy opponent as well.
'Twould seem they are hawks of a feather. Speaking of which, Sir Flanagan, I understand your regiment of riders was the Duchy's finest. Yet you chose to leave your homeland behind. Why?
I grew to see how powerless I was. I once believed the freedom Gustadolf espoused would bring prosperity to Aesfrost. So I fought, and fought, and fought for the cause until my shield was stained blood red.
Hence your title, yes. To think how many lives you must have saved.
Do not mock me. I saved no one. Pride swelled my breast with every mention of that cursed title. But in a year's time, what did I return home to find? My poor wife, wasting away in solitude in the throes of an accursed plague.
Your wife? Had word not reached you?
She mentioned in letters that she felt unwell, but never did I expect it to be so grave. In a matter of days, she was gone. Every moment I spent protecting the people, she drew one step closer to death. And I left her to die. Her blood, too, stains my shield.
Sir Flanagan,
Forgive me. I did not mean to burden you with my woes. But you see now, my title is a curse.
It is a tragedy, yes. But I cannot bring myself to believe you cursed. And you mustn't believe so either.
That should do it. You should be able to use that arm just fine in no time.
Many thanks, lad. You truly are a talented one. My apologies for treating you like an intruder the other day.
Think nothing of it, my good man. If you need anything else, I'm more than happy to help.
Your magic never ceases to amaze. Did you learn everything from your grandfather?
You bet I did. The Archmage Grandante taught me everything I know.
Grandante. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Narv.
Ask away.
I was in Hyzante for a short time, studying at the Ministry. No doubt you know it's considered the greatest authority in this world when it comes to matters arcane. Their library contains everything from records of magically enhanced soldiers to technical tomes and much, much more. Their chronicles on the history of magic, too, were the most comprehensive in our realm. And yet, I do not recall seeing even a single mention of a mage named Grandante. One would think the achievements of such a powerful sorcerer would be recorded somewhere. Why are they not?
Those awful Hyzantians. Truly, they have no shame.
Narv?
The chronicles you speak of? In truth, they were written by my grandfather's own hand.
What? But then why is he not credited by name?
He refused to do the research the former Hierophant ordered of him, and was branded a heretic and unbeliever. They erased his name and achievements from the records, and made it like he never existed at all. He was then banished from the city and died in exile, his name all but forgotten. It's all their fault no one knows of the Archmage Grandante.
I had no idea.
These robes I wear were once his. They're the only remaining proof that he once walked this realm.
So you carry his memory with you everywhere you go.
I promised myself I would make the Archmage Grandante's name known around the world. So I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, until all in the realm know his story. And in the process, I'll become the greatest mage this world has ever seen.
That's the spirit.
Thanks, Gila. Just you watch, Grandfather. I'm going to make you proud.
Wow. The stars are so pretty. They're always so bright, no matter where I go.
You were in a circus, right, Piccoletta?
Yep. We performed in all kinds of places together. The people in the circus were from all over, too. There were people from Glenbrook, people from Hyzante. But when the war started, the circus broke up. Our circus master was from Aesfrost, and he said he had to go and fight for his country. Even the poor animals were all taken away. They were like my family.
Piccoletta.
But I won't give up. I'll help you in this war, and then I'll bring back my circus troupe.
I believe in you, Piccoletta. But to do that, you'll need to build up your strength. And look, it's almost time to eat.
Yay! Let's eat together again today.
Your Excellency, our troops have boarded and are awaiting your orders.
Good. Stand by until I give the order to depart. We make for the Wolfort domain. Upon the foundations of their keep, we shall build the glory of House End. Tell the troops, they shall be well rewarded for their feats of bravery this day.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Recent events have not quelled your desire for knowledge, I see. You make your teacher very happy, Frederica.
It is progress that I can see. I enjoy the growth that comes with learning.
And you should be proud.
Sheila, why do you think my brother attacked Glenbrook?
War is a means to an end, always. The question is, what end does he hope to arrive at?
But what could he hope to gain by razing the castle? I can see no point to his cruelty.
There is always a point, Frederica. As for whether others agree with that reasoning, well, oftentimes that doesn't matter.
How dreadful. Why must it come to arms? Why can't we settle our differences with words?
So long as men covet, there will be war. That fact is immutable.
Then war will continue forever, so long as men exist. Isn't that what you're saying?
Indeed. History has attested to that fact time and again.
What could there possibly be in this world worth risking life and limb for? I cannot fathom the answer.
And 'tis not a question you should trouble yourself with answering, Frederica.
I see House End has raised their banners. I can practically smell their greed from here. Doubtless that slug Sorcelay is licking his lips even now.
I did not think House Wolfort would deign to request aid.
They surprise even me. Has the young wolf learned to swallow his pride?
What should we do, Your Grace?
We cannot very well be seen to ignore those under our protection. Go.
And what of Prince Roland?
That shall have to wait. We may have use for him yet.
And so did the two forces converge on the Wolfort domain, now the linchpin of the Norzellian continent. From the west, General of Laura leads the might of the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost. From the east, Sorcelay End of the Saintly Seven commands an army from the holy state of Hyzante. From within the heart of this maelstrom, one man strives to find the path that will see the house he serves safely through the storm. Benedict Pascal, steward of House Wolfort, wise in war and peace alike, contemplates what to do next.
Release his fetters.
Yes, Your Grace.
You look well, my prince.
What are you doing here?
I bring good tidings. Your execution has been stayed. And I have a request to make of you.
What? What have you not already taken from me?
The good tidings did not end with a lease on life, my prince. I mean to marry your sister.
What?
However, I fear that without your assistance, she may not be entirely amenable to the arrangement.
Has your ambition driven you mad? I'll hang before I see you wed.
I had feared you might say that. In the days ahead, do remember that at first I attempted a diplomatic approach.
You bastard!
Anna, a report on our current situation, if you will.
Yes, sir. Both Aesfrost and Hyzante have mustered armies and are drawing upon Castle Wolfort as we speak. Given the sudden military action, Prince Roland's execution has been stayed.
Thank you, Anna. We have much to consider.
Indeed. Our situation may be grim, but there is opportunity in chaos. However, we have scarce little time to find it.
What are you thinking, Benedict? Are we to seriously consider fighting under Aesfrost's banners?
The time that House Wolfort could stand alone ended with the Salt Iron War. There is no future for us if we do not cast our lot with a greater nation. However, we at least have the freedom of choice.
Choice? What choice do we have?
I see. You had an ulterior motive to requesting aid from Aesfrost.
Just so. We could offer Hyzante a glorious victory.
The Archduke's army would be caught off guard. Are you certain Hyzante would offer us asylum?
Most certainly. House End would be eager to bolster their flagging reputation by defeating Aesfrost in the field. Doubtless, both nations view us as prey on its last legs. They forget that a cornered wolf is the most dangerous.
That means we must consider allying with Aesfrost as well.
If that is what we decide, then so be it, so long as we decide. Aesfrost did not ignite the fires of war lightly. They prepared for 30 years. Even so, they would only have acted if they had confidence in their chances at victory.
Do you believe Aesfrost's ambition could swallow even Hyzante?
That ain't the point. After what those bastards did, I can't well say I savor the thought of fighting under them. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror, in fact.
Nothing would be more shameful than failing our duty to our house.
So we have to decide then. Aesfrost or Hyzante?
Neither force has the upper hand. Our choice will surely guide the tide of battle.
Very well. Then let us consult the scales.
We must. Certainly not. Quite true.
I think...
In that case... Possibly. Possibly.
Lord Serenoa. Good point. I wonder about that.
In that case...
It is time to cast our votes. Do we join forces with the army of Aesfrost, or do we choose to side with Hyzante? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I stand with you, my lord.
I have no qualms with that.
You have my vote.
I have faith in you.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. We ally with the holy state of Hyzante and decimate the Aesfrosti forces. The road forward is decided. We fight for Hyzante and crush Aesfrost's forces.
I shall send word to Minister Sorsley at once to arrange a parley and discuss strategy.
I'll send word to the guards to shut the gates and tighten their patrols.
Thank you. Then let us attend to our duties.
I pray Minister Sorsley will hear us out.
From distant parapets, even the greatest armies appear benign. Let us hope Sorsley becomes more amenable to an alliance with a full reckoning of Aesfrost's power.
Regardless, I sense a hard fight on the horizon.
Minister Sorsley, leading the forces of the Holy State of Hyzante, advances into the Wolffort domain. The once proud house has found themselves shorn of the freedom they held so dear, and trapped between two nations bent on expansion. Their only hope of survival is to cast their lot with one of their would-be adversaries. Serenoa chooses to side with Hyzante, crafting a plot to betray General Avlora and drive the army of Aesfrost from his home. The road ahead is precarious, and a single misstep could spell the end of House Wolffort and all who serve it.
So we're to seek reprieve from Hyzante, the same nation under which my mother and her people were branded heretics and endured untold suffering.
I understand your hesitation in fighting by their side, Frederica. But there is no other way. You needn't take the field if you wish.
Nonsense. I am a Wolffort now. I will fight.
As you wish.
Gila, tell us what you know about this Minister Sorsley.
Sorsley is one of the Saintly Seven. He oversees the salt harvest at the source and the Roselle that work there. His authority over Hyzante's salt gives him great influence, but many whisper of his petty and jealous nature behind his back.
So he's got the resources to put up a fight then, eh?
And he has been preparing for this moment. We can expect his forces to be well-provisioned and well-trained.
Do not think he will be easily swayed. The Saintly Seven are not known for heeding the pleas of common men.
Then we shall have to distinguish ourselves from common men.
Surely he will see that he only stands to benefit from joining our forces. It is the only way to guarantee Aesfrost's defeat. The future of House Wolffort will hinge on the hours to come. May we all arrive at the end of them safely.
House Wolffort shall persevere.
My lord, we've received word from General Avlora. She plans to meet the enemy army at the docks. She asked that we meet her there at once to hold a war council.
Then let us not keep her waiting.
I've had enough.
You've had enough. Where are your manners? You are our captive, and it is only by my brother's grace that you aren't eating scraps off the floor.
She should be crying tears of joy for our largesse. Perhaps she still has delusions of royalty. We should disabuse her of such notions. She must learn to finish her meal, even if we must force it down her gullet. Don't flail too much, dear, else this fork might prick something it isn't meant to. Get away!
What is that infernal racket?
She's so cruel, brother. She said she spits on Aesfrost's generosity.
Must you bicker like children? Remind me how old you are, Erica.
Have you finished with your duties, brother? If so, perhaps we could enjoy a meal together.
My duties are endless. In fact, I would have you two oversee our occupation of the capital in my stead.
Can't you have that brute Avlora do it?
General Avlora is afield. House Wolfort has requested our aid, and they deserve some token for handing us the prince. Your options for rescue are fast dwindling, Princess.
They'll be gone at last. It must be tonight.
And you are certain the other saints harbor no suspicions?
House End is known for its clandestine dealings. They suspect nothing outside of the ordinary.
Good. Do not fail me, Booker. We must open another transportation route now that Glenbrook is close to us. We mustn't let a mere war stem the flow of our goods.
Of course, Your Excellency. Once we have secured the Wolfort domain, I suspect our work will proceed even faster than before. To say nothing of the accolades you are sure to receive from the Holy One for bringing Wolfort into the fold.
At last, Exham and those sniveling upstarts will know their place. They will see who among the Saintly Seven truly wields the power, as will the Holy One. Only Aesfrost's forces stand in our way. Have the Wolforts agreed to our plan?
Yes, Your Excellency. When the time is right, they will turn on Aesfrost, and we shall entrap them from both sides.
Good. Good. I wish you glory on the battlefield, Booker. Crush those Aesfrosty dogs under your heel. When they have been well bloodied and bruised, I shall lead the main force to deliver their final punishment. The detractors of House End's military cunning will have to hold their tongues after the day.
Our scouts have sent their report. Hyzante has dispatched a small force bound to our location. They're expected to arrive at nightfall.
We will do battle in the dark, then.
We should map out the perimeter and terrain before they come.
You sound frightened. There is no need. My troops shall make quick work of Sorsley. You will see that giving us Roland was the wise choice.
I simply think it best to be prepared. There is no room for regrets in battle.
A small force? What is that bastard planning?
Likely he intends to strike after we've worn each other thin. Victory will come easily for him then.
Saving the ripest fruit for himself, eh? Seems no matter where we look, some beast is slavering for a bite of our land.
And this is the beast we have chosen to side with. We must move forward lest we look back in doubt.
Aesfrost.